This is well and truly freaky. Welcome back to Mad Trading, by the way. Over on Twitch, it's around about 3-second delay between me talking and then it coming through on the video that you're watching. Here on YouTube, it's about 30 seconds. That's mental. That's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, this is a quick update on the session today. We did have a couple of trades, we had a trade open on natural gas that closed. We closed that at 2443 or we had a full close at 2443, should I say. We did take some partial profits earlier on. So this trade itself, let me open this up. This natural gas trade that we took 75% of our initial risk, which was £1 a point. We closed at 2453. So we opened here and we closed it at 2453. 2453 up here. Took partial profit, 75%. Let the rest run. Which for me was an okay kind of deal. I wasn't really fussed. I thought it would go up. I thought it would get to this monthly high. It hasn't. It's fallen over. And then we got an exit signal at 2443, and that's when we took the rest of the profits. 2443, rest of 25 pence on that trade. Forgetting the two Brent crudes that are losers. We've also had a DAX trade on. Let me bring that one up. So our DAX trade was we should have been in earlier. Number one, I should have been in earlier, but also on top of that, it shouldn't have been out in the first place, and this I think is going to continue to spike up. Talking to a chap called Ron, and fun enough, not Ron was also texting earlier, but Ron I think is still in this trade. I got in at 12.6. Well, let's just see. I got in on the DAX at 12.657 for a long. Stop 100 points away. It was originally 50 pence a point. We closed this one out at 12.681. So I closed out at 12.681 a pair for partial profits. That's the strategy. 75%. In fact, in this case, it was 70% taken at this point, leaving the rest to run. It hasn't really come down into negative. It did wick into negative for a while, but bounced off of this moving average. And I do believe it's going to now make a slow incline overnight and then pop up first thing in the morning. I moved my stop up to 12.597, and now I've just moved it up to, let me copy that and add that in. Boom. Let me move that down a bit. To move that over here. Sorry for taking your time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just change that. So stop moved to 638 256338.0 at ding 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 21. 20. And we're still in for that one. Just going to let that run. It's a nothing trade. It's tiny, but as soon as it closes out, I'll add that information into here. Could be a tiny loser. Just give me 2 seconds. I've just got to go and see my daughter for a second. Listen to some tunes. Right, sorry about that. Sorting out a 3-year-old. Where were we? Yes, so I do believe this is going to pop up. I have moved my stop to 12.638. It's a tiny trade. Yes, I know. Pardon me, but all profit is profit, which brings me on to the trade log. If you haven't got a trade log, you need one. You need to get one. It should have all the relevant information needed. These last 3 are for me. I'm one of those people that needs to know what the RR ratio for each trade was. I would like to see it 1 or higher, but anything in the positive is good. If it's got a negative next to it, I don't like it. Then I've got the RR ratio total, so that's excuse me, it combined. And then the profit gains or losses as it goes. Obviously we're only up to well, it's not 10 trades, but the 10th entry. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, it's only 5 trades, but out of those 5 trades we've made 11% on the account, which is a RR ratio of 0.88, still positive. And yeah, the charity donations are a percentage of that, and each charity, there's 2 of them that I'll be giving to, they get at the minute this amount, which is nothing, is it? But every penny counts. The graph wise, which you also need to know or see for your own trading benefit, not for this trading log, but for your own trading benefit, get a graph. Better see what your percentage gains are. That's what you should be looking at. The fund profit and loss is also nice to know, but you don't really shouldn't be watching that all the time. And then for me, the RR ratio is the all important one. So the blue one is the per trade ratio, so gains here or any losses here, what the gains were compared to what the combined gains were. So the red is the combined, and we did get up to 1.46 at one point. Obviously had a couple of losers which brought that down considerably, and now we're slowly sneaking back up again. But we've only had 5 trades in total, and the fund is increasing. One thing I did say on Twitch, which I'll mention here now as well, is if I could put a Fibonacci on this from the low to the high, if we get to 50% and there's no bounce, so we get to 50% and it starts to sneak under, we're not doing well. When our own fund profit and loss gets down to 50% retracement, that's not a good sign. We need to keep this ever increasing upwards. It could be a slow increase. That's fine. It could be these types of increases, which is great. But we need to see we need to keep it above 50% retracements on the retracement time, and you will always get losers. You'll always get retracements, and then it's a slow slog to get back up to where you were beforehand. So if we get down to 50% retracement on the profit and loss on the fund, or the percentage gains and losses, so if this percentage gain was at 14% and we lost a few more trades and got down to 7%, that's a time to think about changing something, doing something differently, or not trading more perfectly and being more consistent, if there is such a thing. So that's it for me. Thanks for sticking around. The one person that's watching, which I guess is me. No one else watching this, I'm sure. But if you're watching this in the future, if you liked it, thanks for coming. I hope you liked it. Bring yourself back. I'll be back on YouTube on Friday. No trading for me tomorrow. I have a prior engagement that I can't break, and I'll be trading all day on Friday up till 4:30 again. So I'm going to leave you with a bit more of this royalty-free music. supplied by our good friends, and then I'll close out. So I'll leave you to it. Thanks for coming, and I'll speak to you again soon. Go on, bugger off.